Imagine knowing that your president is a pedophile and on the Epstein list, still running one of the most powerful countries in the world. We have been living in the divide and rule era. That is something people kill and die for. I was entering a mall a couple of days ago and I saw this little boy with a backpack. He was asking for some money, and whenever I'm out with somebody, almost everyone tells me they're just acting, it's just business, they're actually well off, which might be true to a certain extent. Sometimes I give them something, sometimes I don't, and this time I didn't. After I entered the mall, I could still see him sitting outside because it was all glass, so I could see the outside, they could see the inside. He had this look of helplessness and desperation on his face, and he was looking around. Then he saw me looking at him, and then he started to ask for something again through the glass. And I felt so bad, is not even the word, like heartbroken. I don't know, it was bad. I don't usually carry cash, so I arranged something and I gave it to him. And the tone and expression in which he said thank you to me told me everything about how much he needed that. Hello girlies and manlies, I'm Rosh and welcome back to my channel. I look like Morticia Adams from Wednesday. Now the point of this is not to encourage you to help every beggar you come across, but to realize just how desensitized we as a society have become to other people's pain and suffering. The people who don't clearly understand what desensitized means. I'm not a non-vegetarian, so I've never had chicken in my life. Astaghfirullah. It's not funny, guys. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's previously, whenever I used to look at chicken, meat, fish, even eggs, somebody selling it, I used to feel like throwing up, like nauseous to my core. But now I've seen so many videos on social media about food reviews, food tasting, or food making, like cooking videos of all kinds of food, seafood, crab, lobster, Asian, American, Japanese cuisines, all kinds of Indian, butter chicken masala, whatever. Now when I'm sitting in a restaurant and somebody next to me orders something non-vegetarian, as long as I cannot smell it, it's fine with me. It's not that much big of a deal. And I could previously throw up. And why is that? Because I've been desensitized to it. I have seen videos of people cooking it and eating it so much, so many times, that it has stopped grossing me out as much. Desensitized means becoming less sensitive or less affected by something emotionally, physically, or mentally because of repeated exposure to it. And this is exactly what has happened to most of the world population at this point. All of us. Which is one of the results of psychological operations. A PSYOP. What's a PSYOP, you ask? You think your emotions, thoughts, and feelings and opinions about the world are your own? They're not. Do you know how easy it is to shape the narrative about something and therefore shape your perception? If tomorrow the media and all social platforms cut and edit clips of a certain celebrity being overstimulated, irritated, or annoyed, and compile a video saying this particular celebrity is extremely rude and arrogant, the fame has gotten to their head. They are not going to show you the reason behind why they acted that way or what was going on in their mind in that moment. But here are all the times they have acted this way. Would a large population believe that to be true? Yes. Has that happened? Yes, it happens on a regular basis. This is a real life example. When there is a celebrity divorce, can they portray a certain person to be the villain? Yes, they can. Have they done it? Yes, they have. Sometimes people realize it later, sometimes never. Let's say something disastrous happens in your state or your district. When you open the national news at 9 p.m., they are showing you the Ambani's wedding. Nobody else in the country knows or gives a shit about what happened to your people because it never made it to the news. Can they do it? Yes. Have they done it? Yes. This actually happened a few weeks or months ago. One of the states in America had a full-on protest going on and nobody knew about it. The media was not reporting it. It was not to be seen in any of the news channels. And whenever people did try to post it on social media, the videos got shadow banned. I came across one of those videos and it only had a couple of hundred views or likes because it was shadow banned. Imagine the other states of the same country don't know about this huge crisis happening in their own country. Why? Because it's not shown by the media. If I have to portray someone as a bad guy, I wouldn't just outright go and be like, this is a bad person. Sauce, trust me, bro. No. Take out your notebooks and pens, manipulation 101. I point out a tiny bit something that's not so good about him. Then I do it again after a couple of days. And then I point out a bad habit of his after a couple of weeks. Then after planting these seeds throughout months or even years, one day I just go, I get a bad feeling about him or I just don't like him for some reason. The chances of most of the people agreeing with me is 100%. The chances of most of the people agreeing with me is 100%, not 100% of the people agreeing with me. They think it's their opinion that they don't like him either, but it's not. I did that. And that is exactly what happens to all of us on an international level, daily basis. If you think your opinions and feelings are your own, sorry to burst your bubble. The world is not all rainbows and sunshine. This is a joke. For reference, go watch my previous video. But no, they're not. They want you to think that you're in control, but they are the ones controlling your mind by shaping the narrative. That is the power the government and the media holds. A psyop is when someone, the government, an organization, whoever, tries to control how people think or feel by manipulation, misinformation, propaganda, whatever, to make them act in a certain way without them realizing that they are being influenced. It is done to achieve certain goals like political, social, military. You better believe it's not surface level, it runs deep. And if I were to get into it, I think a lot of you will have a very difficult time accepting the fact that such large group of people will go to such extreme lengths to keep the system in place and running. Money, power, and control is something people kill and die for. They have the money. Trust me, you think money is going to make you happy. Once you have all the money in the world, the only thing you crave is power. You will want to control the globe once you have all the money in the world. And they have all the money in the world. The only thing they are hungry for is power and control. And that is something people kill and die for. You think bribing, lying, spreading misinformation, buying the media, it's something unachievable, it's a big deal for them? They have billions, trillions of dollars of budget for this shit. Where do you think your tax money is going? It's sure as hell I cannot see it on the roads. I sure as hell cannot see in the government hospitals and schools. Where do you think it is going? Every time you pay tax, if you are borrowing money, you pay tax, you lend money, you pay tax, I don't even want to get into this, bro. It's a piece of cake for them. If you still don't believe me, imagine yourself in an Avengers movie, right? You're provided with a world-changing piece of information. You are put in a room with all the current political leaders of the world. Now, in the right hands, that piece of information will save the world. And in the wrong hands, or even ears, that will end the world. Who are you going to tell? Who are you going to go to? Now, if you're retarded, I'm sorry, but I'm not. You will just run to your favorite or biased political leader and hand it to them. And if you're even a bit smart, you will have no idea as to who to go to. Because deep down, you know most of them are dirty, if not all of them. And dirty enough to not be trusted with humanity changing, saving, or ending piece of information. In that moment, you're not going to think about who the media showed you to be a good leader, because it's not that we don't know, it's just that we are in denial and desensitized. Imagine knowing that your president is a pedophile and on the Epstein list and still running one of the most powerful countries in the world. It's not that people don't, a lot of people know for sure, and the others are just in denial. They don't need proof. You all don't need proof. You are just in denial because you need to feel better about the world you live in. Ignorance is a bliss. By the way, disclaimer, this is just a fictional video, guys. I'm being funny. This is for entertainment purpose only. I'm just trying to make you laugh and make your day. And I really hope that you enjoyed. Now, one of the results of this is that we have become so desensitized to other people's misery, pain, and hurt. You remember when we were kids and we used to look at street animals or beggars or chickens being killed for meat or whatever, like things like that, and we used to feel bad for them. It all of it used to make us feel something, but we were taught to believe that that is just how the world works, or it is just they are just acting to get money out of you, or that is just a part of the food chain. The same way we are shown wars, genocides, rapes, killings, violence so much to the extent that we have become numb to the pain of the victims at this point. We may feel bad for them for a minute or 5, but then we just go about our day as if nothing happened. Just another day, another news. You know, I used to think that protests and rebellions are such a bad thing, and why can't just people live in peace, and why are they causing such destruction and disturbances and all that? But as I see so much happening around the world, there are genocides happening. There is a whole country where women are being treated like slaves, like animals, like objects, like belongings. There are children starving to death. And even if some people are causing disturbances as a rebellion, it is still not enough to disturb the minds of the people in power to stop all of that. And that lack of disturbance bothers me now. How are people just going about their lives where there are thousands, millions of people dying every day or wishing they were dead? We don't realize it hard enough that it could be us tomorrow. And we let it happen. We have normalized it because we are the victims of the psychological operation, so they can test our limits. I saw the protests in Nepal. recently. Honestly, I felt so glad looking at it. The Gen Z slayed. And I really wish that it happened all around the world for other reasons as well, other than banning social media. They are testing your limits with every bad thing happening around the world. What is your tolerance level? At what point will you decide to collectively rebel? And again, there is a whole another system in place to stop you from ever uniting to be able to rebel. You think people divided on the basis of religion, race, caste, countries, do you really think that the goal is just to monetize and capitalize and get money out of you? You really think that is, like, of course it is the goal, because then that money is used to do more damage for God knows how many decades or centuries. We have been living in the divide and rule era. We have been living in the divide and rule era. We have been living in the divide and rule era. Let that sink in. Pause this video and let that sink in for a second. Do you think all the men and women will ever unite to speak against abortion rights? Do you think all black and white people will come together to rebel against the genocides? Do you think that India and Pakistan will ever unite to fight against terrorism? Sounds like a joke at this point, honestly. Attempts have been made, but we have failed. Do you think it's unrealistic? I'm not even talking about fairies and magic at this point, and you still think it's unrealistic. Why? Not because it's impossible, but because they have made it seem impossible. Because the day it becomes possible, the whole system is going to collapse like a domino chain. When we look around, we don't see people, we see religion, caste, we see gender, race, ethnicity, we see anything but another human being. We don't care what's happening to someone as long as it's not us. And this is not to say that go on a protest and go revolt against it on the streets, but uniting simply because the world population obviously exceeds the number of people in power. Just people coming together, regardless of all the gender, race, religion bullshit, uniting just to refuse to conform with all the stupid laws, regulations, and rules is enough. It is more than enough. It is everything. It is everything. If the whole country comes together to say no to certain tax laws or the 9 to 5 corporate structure, do you think the government can withstand that? The solution is so simple yet so unrealistic, because the unrealistic part is so many people coming together to agree on one thing, keeping all the differences aside. They know that kindness, compassion, and empathy mixed with anger and rage for injustice can bring millions of you together. So they do everything and anything to keep you from ever liking each other. A lot of people lack empathy in the name of being realistic. Sweetheart, you're just brainwashed. You think you're logical and have critical thinking skills. The opinion you think is yours is not even yours. Who said that? You have just become numb to emotions. And I think this is one of the reasons that a lot of people believe feminists to be extremists. Because I mentioned in one of my previous videos as well, I will link in the description, that we as women literally feel the rage, the anger, the hurt when something bad happens to other women. That's why we unite when it comes to that, which I wish all of us could do when it came to another human being. I can't speak for all women, but most of us will not care about religion, race, anything when it comes to safety of another woman. I could hate some girl with every fiber of my being, but if I see that she's having trouble getting home safe, I will make sure that she gets home safe. And the fact that feminists seem extremist to a lot of you is because you have become desensitized, and women are left with much more empathy and kindness as compared to men. When they react from the place of compassion and rage, when they see all this injustice happening, therefore creating disturbances and revolutions, you think it's too much because you have just become numb to it. Or you are just privileged enough to not understand their pain. And they thankfully have not become numb to this shit yet, which I wish was the case with all of you, towards all the disturbing things happening around the world. And as a result of those PSYOPs, people have not only become numb to emotions, they have become numb to common sense. And I get it, that's how brainwashing works, but it still baffles me. Imagine you being dragged out of your house, being beaten, being taken away, and nobody does anything. Your neighbors are just standing there. Maybe they're feeling sad for you, but they're not doing anything. Imagine yourself in that situation, standing there powerless against the authorities. And even if the number of people standing watching this outnumber the authority people, and you know for sure if they all come together to save you, they absolutely can, but they aren't going to. That should scare you shitless. That's what we are to all those powerless and helpless people, and that's what we are to ourselves. People refuse to see things that are right in front of their eyes. And the days are not even far, they are here. We are living in those days where the people in power are doing whatever the fuck they want with you and your lives and your money, and y'all are just sitting on the internet looking for someone to hate on or to make fun of. That is why I say everything is a circus. They're all jokers. People are busy talking about cricket, celebrity, drama, who's my favorite politician, my god is the true god, my religion is best, who said what to whom, Pakistan did this, America, China, Russia did this. All of it is serving a purpose which is theirs. It is either to manipulate you, misinform you, desensitize you, make you numb to everything. It's all a propaganda. None of it is serving you. Keep that in mind. Because if it were serving you, it would not have made the news. They would make sure to not inform you about it. Politicians will serve you just enough to have hope in the government and faith in the system. So you always have someone to look up to, a savior or something, instead of realizing your own power as a collective. Because the population obviously outnumbers the people in power. All this being kind, compassionate, having empathy is not just a little personal development, good character thing. No, 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 no. It is literally all that matters. It is what will save this humanity and this planet. It is everything. That is why they keep attempting to strip it away from everyone. I get comments saying she's a pseudo feminist, she's a Muslim, she's a Christian, she's trying to support Palestine. I'm just like, I am? And me, I'm just a girl. Who am I? Someone with like what, 500 followers? How much influence do I have? You're taking time out of your day to microanalyze my words and do a whole post-mortem trying to figure out what my intentions are. Only if you did the same to people with actual power and influence, you wouldn't be used as puppets and pawns in this entire shit show. Barely you use your mind, that too for all the wrong reasons. That's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Jesus loves you and I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Astaghfirullah.